Today we're going to be talking about the school district of Abington Township, Pennsylvania, and Schempp. This right here is a picture of Edward Schempp, the father. This right here is a picture of the newspaper article that came out when the case was being held in the court. So basically this case was about each day Abington High School started with reading verses from the Bible with different students that were involved in their radio and television workshop. And then after they did readings from the Bible, they recited parts of the Lord's Prayer every morning. This lasted from 8:15 to 8:30 to start off each school day. If the students chose not to participate in this, they had the right to do that. Their parents had to write them a written letter and turn it into the school for the students to be able to not participate in this. So the school needed written consent from the parents in order for the children to not participate. There was a particular father named Edward Schempp, who's right here. His kids attended Abington High School, and he wasn't particularly happy with this rule. He didn't want his children exposed to this particular version of the Bible. He did not want them to be considered like outliers or oddballs by his teachers and fellow students by writing them written consent to have them leave for the announcements every morning. He also was worried that they might miss important announcements because the announcements that followed were just like general school announcements for the day. So he didn't want to do that to his kids, but he did not like that they were starting each day with Bible readings. So at the time of this case, there was actually a law in Pennsylvania that required students to do Bible readings each morning, or teachers read Bibles, or whatever it may be. The court did rule that this was a violation of the First Amendment, and they said that religion could still be studied, but only objectively, and it couldn't be a mandatory thing as part of the curriculum, but the schools could still teach it if they chose and the students chose to participate. So the constitutional question for this case is, did the Pennsylvania law requiring school students to participate in classroom religious exercises violate the religious freedom of the students as protected by the First and 14th Amendments? So the holding of this case, the Supreme Court came to an 8-1 decision that the public prayer in school was unconstitutional. So the majority opinion, 8 out of 9 judges did rule this unconstitutional. They quoted that they agree with the trial of the court findings that the religious character of exercises was a violation of the Establishment Clause. The dissenting opinion, only one dissenter, he quoted that the court had only twice held laws that were in violation of the 14th Amendment, so it was a very rare thing to happen. And he also didn't think that there was quite enough evidence to make a valid decision. He didn't think that the court had enough evidence. So, to wrap this up, my personal opinion of this court case, I agree with the court's 8-1 decision that Bible readings or listening to the Lord's Prayer should not be part of a requirement for school, especially in a public school. But that's about it. Thank you for listening.